Hi everyone. You're gonna wait for a few more minutes to see let more people join in, and then we'll start away with the session. We're gonna wait for 2-3 minutes, and then we'll start right away. Hi, hi everyone. So I'll just start by introducing myself and then the speaker, and then we'll start the session. Okay, so hi everyone. I am Sanhati Kundu. I am a sophomore student pursuing computer science, and I'm the current campus ambassador of the Girls Script Summer of Code 2022 of our college Heritage Institute of Technology. I have a keen interest in artificial intelligence and machine learning, and I'm looking forward to gain knowledge from this session about open source contribution and actually be an open source contributor along with you all. So now I'm going to introduce our speaker for the session. We have Ishika Saha from the IT department of our college, Heritage Institute of Technology. She is a sophomore student and she is a cybersecurity developer and also a part of our core team of the GDSC club of our college. She will be speaking about the basic fundamentals of Git and GitHub today for the session and get you all prepped up for the open source contribution journey which is coming for the associated with the Girls Script Summer of Code 2022. She has contributed to a lot of open source contributions previously, like Hacktoberfest 2021, Girl Script Winter of Contribution 2021, and she's going to guide you all with the basics of Git and GitHub. And yeah, we'll be all ready for open source contribution. So Ishika, say hi to everyone, and then we can start.
Hello everyone, nice to meet you.
So I'm gonna start with the basic stuff first, like what is open source and open source contribution. Like those are the basic stuff that I'm gonna talk about first. And okay, so well, firstly, if you think about it in a way, most of us are like wrapped out, like we don't even know that some of the softwares that we use are like actually open source softwares. You know, most of us use Android smartphones, and like even if you don't, I can bet that each one of us have actually used Wikipedia at least once in our life. And then these are all actually, and why am I mentioning these, you know, like these are all actually examples of open source contributions. So what do we exactly mean by open source and open source contribution? So open source is nothing. It is nothing very difficult to understand. It's a very easy concept. It is. It's just the name suggests. It's basically a source code which is available for modification, redistribution for everyone. Anybody can see it, can alter it, can enhance it, can suggest better solutions for a particular problem, can find bugs which have got missed by some other developers when they have created that particular software. So it basically means that it opens up ways for it enables collaboration. So you could say in a way that open source is just a fancy term for treating the world's problems as fixable. So we're gonna start with open source contribution with association and with Girl Script Summer of Code. So what is Girl Script Summer of Code? Let me introduce you all to that. Girl Script Summer of Code is actually a 3 month long open source contribution program. I will be sharing my screen and show you all the website of it and take you through the um, what is Girl Script Summer of Code, and you'll get an understanding of it. Um, just a minute. I'll just share my screen. I hope that my screen is visible to you all. Yes. So as you can see, Girl Script Summer of Code is actually a 3 month long open source program by the Girl Script Foundation. Firstly, a lot of you, like a few days back in my college, in my class, one of my classmates asked me when he heard that we're gonna host this session. He asked me that if this open source contribution program is only for girls, because the name itself has a girl word in it. So, well, do not get confused by it. It's not only for girls. It is meant for everyone. It is a very beginner friendly program, so everyone can participate, literally everyone. It is named like that because it is hosted, like it's organized by a foundation called Girl Script Foundation. So, because of the organization, the name is Girl Script Summer of Code. But yeah, it is open for all. It is open for all. It is a very beginner friendly program, so everyone can participate, even if you know the basics of any language, any like C, C++, Python, or maybe you know web development, HTML, CSS, anything, Android development, anything like you can participate, even if you're not looking for any beginner level projects, you can actually sign up as a mentor and actually guide those contributors who will be joining as participants. And you can see here you have the thing about the Girl Script Summer of Code. Here you can see the statistics of the last year program. You can see there has been 8,000 plus registrations, and there has been a total of 100 plus projects. And yeah, so we are gonna have it again from the 1st of March. You can see the schedule of it from the first of sorry for the first of March. The coding period starts, and it is going to continue for 3 months. Before that, you will have to register yourself either as a participant or as a mentor. You can also even submit your projects. It can be anything. It can be very small projects, maybe a website you want to build. It uses HTML, CSS. You can sign it up. It has to be some kind of interesting project, and you can just sign it up and list it up, so that all the beginners who want to get a taste of open source contribution, they can get a hold of it. And here you can see, if you want to start your open source contribution journey, this is like the absolute great time to do so, because the best thing about Girl Script Summer of Code is that you will be assigned mentors to actually help you out to solve your queries, to fix any conflicts that you may have, to help you understand particular concepts. It is actually a great way, like you can, like from this I can say, like what is the use of actually like why should you start open source contribution? Well, it is not a mandatory thing, but there are very good potential reasons that supports that you should actually consider, at least like consider doing open source contribution. Firstly, you will get a very better understanding by participating in different programs. Like one of the most famous of it is Google Summer of Code. There is Outreach, there is MLH, there is Girls to Summer of Code, of which I'm talking about today. And like some of them actually provide you with stipends. So that is a like great thing, right? You get to learn, you get to implement those concepts, you get to learn how to write a better code, clean coding, and then you get to get a better level up your skills on testing, documenting, Git, etc. And at the same time you also get stipends if you sign up for, if you get selected as a Google Summer of Code contributor. So before going to that, you can actually, if you are like, I know this thing might seem a bit intimidating to some people because, oh, it's like, it might sound like that, like only the pros can go into it, but it's not actually like that. So if you want to get rid of that intimidation, you can get started with Girl Script Summer of Code. And one more huge benefit of it is like you are introduced to a very nice community of developers. You get to be a part of that community and help each other out and get a better understanding of how people work together as a team. And also obviously you can add this, if you have managed to make some good contributions, you manage to add these to your portfolio or to your resume, and it will obviously be a very impressive count to your resume. So I'm gonna go back to the participation registration, how to do it. So here you can, in the website, I'm gonna share with you the link of the website. Don't worry about it. I will share that. Here you can find this start your journey thing. You can register to participate over here. You can register to mentor your other fellow participants. It's a great thing because you get to manage, like you get to have people under you and you get to guide those people. So I'm going to show you how to register as a participant. You tap on that and you'll be redirected to another Google form where you fill out your details of your email, app name, gender, email, phone number, college, everything. And also, it's very important to have a GitHub profile. You have to show it, you have to paste your GitHub profile URL, also your LinkedIn profile URL, because they'll track your socials through that, and a Discord, because Discord is really important here in this case, because for every project you choose, you find your project to actually do your open source contribution journey. If you do that, for each and every project you will be assigned a Discord channel where you will communicate with the other developers and the mentors who will guide you. So, Discord account is also really important. You will have to give your address for getting swags if eligible, because if you are among the top contributors of the session of this coding time, obviously you'll get some swags, some cool swags to show off. And here is your country name, and then you will have to fill up the text tags or the languages you're good with. Mind you, these four are not the only ones who you have to be good at. These are like just the example to show that you have to write them in a CSV format. CSV format is nothing really huge. It's just that you have to just list your tech language, the stacks of the languages you're comfortable with using a comma. Like if you know C, any language, C, C++, Python, Java, anything you just list them up there and you go ahead to the next page. And there you will have to write the reason why, what you are looking for, what you are like, what do you feel like you will gain from this journey and this contribution session. And you fill those two blanks out, and yeah, you're ready for the consideration of being a Girl Script Summer of Code participant. So, with that being said, now let's come back to the prerequisites of actually being an open source contributor. And that brings us back to Git and GitHub, the knowledge of actually using, being fluent in Git and GitHub is what we are going to focus in today's session. And that will be explored and that will be illustrated to you all by our speaker, Ishika. uh, I'll just add her. Yes, she's back here. She's going to help you all understand the basics of it. So, without any further delay, I'm gonna pose the most common question, that is, what is Git and what do we actually mean by it, and what is GitHub?
First of
So,
all, hi
Ishika, go ahead.
everyone. Yeah. So Git is a free and open source distributed version control system. Coming to version control, what is version control, right? So version control is the practice of tracking and managing changes to software code. For example, you have a software code, which a project which you have built, and you want to track all the changes you are making in it, all the commits that you have made, all this uh, progress that you have done. So that's where version control comes in. It just makes that tracking part easier for you. So version control is a software tool that helps software teams manage changes to source code over time. So let's say you use an application, an open source application, and you want to modify or add some features to it. So what you do is go to their main project base, copy the I'll come to the technical terms later on. Copy the source code in your local system, make the changes which are required, and then you ask the project managers to include those modifications in the application. And that's how you contribute to open source. So version control uh, thing helps you track and manage the project base, see what other people are doing with that source code, make modifications. You can make modifications as well, and you can include those modifications in that source code. So that is what version control in simple words is. So why should we use version control? First of all, it helps people collaborate, which is the main point of open source. Secondly, it keeps every team member working on the right version. Everyone can see what the other team members are doing, right? And most importantly, it helps to maintain the traceability and the history of the progress or the changes you have made. Now, GitHub is a cloud based hosting service, and though somehow Git and GitHub are interlinked, they are not the same. GitHub is a cloud-based hosting service that lets you manage Git repositories. Like if you have open source projects which use Git, then GitHub just helps you better manage them. For example, if that source code in which you want to bring in modification uses, that is an open source project using Git, so that source code would be hosted in GitHub. Right. So GitHub is just a cloud-based hosting service which hosts the projects made with the help of Git. I think that answers the question of what is Git and GitHub. So the often people ask that what is the difference between Git and GitHub? Git is a software. GitHub is a service, as I have already mentioned. Git is a command line tool. GitHub is a graphical user interface. And as I have already told you, GitHub itself is an open source project made in Git, right? So to without further delay, to get started with Git, you have to have it installed in your system. For that, let me share my screen. Right. Uh, So from here, you can download Git and install it in your system according to the operating system you use. I already have it installed in my system. So let's go to the Git bash and get started. I would share my screen once again.
So
Is it
buckle up,
visible?
everyone. So because you'll get to learn all the basic Git commands that is required to get you all started with the open source contribution journey. And after the session, you'll get to know all these basic commands, and I'm sure you'll be very fluent with it. And yes, Ishika, your screen is absolutely visible. So yeah, go ahead.
So first of all, let's check what version of Git we are using. So for that, just we are using this Git version of 2.34.1. Now to get started with anything in Git, we need to make a repository. So what is a repository? A repository is just like a folder which stores files. So it basically stores your project, which manages all your project files, and also it helps you to manage each file's revision history. So today we will be learning how to make your own repository and work with that. For that, first of all, I'm making a folder in it in my PC. Okay. Now to initialize an empty Git repository, the command is git init. That's the short form of initialize. When we press git init, it says initialized empty Git repository in C where I have in the Git folder which I have made. Right. So how do we check what all files there is in this empty repository which we have made? So when I press ls, it shows nothing. But this empty repository has an inbuilt .git file in it. For that, but it's hidden. For that, we will be using lsa, and it shows this .git file. Right. Okay. So your local repository has been made already. Now, what are the changes you want to make? Let's get started with making a simple file, text file. I'll just clear my screen once more. Uh, I've created a text file, readme, and now I'll just type something in it. Let's type in my first repository. All right. Okay. Let's see if the changes which I have made in the file has been saved or not. Yep. Now, what we need to do is we need to uh, check the status, that if what is the status of the local repository which we have made, right? So we for that we say git status, and it says on branch master there are no commits yet. So you have made changes in the file, you have made that file in your local repository, but you have not uh, implemented those changes in the local repository, and that is why it is calling it as an untracked or unstaged file, and this file name is being shown in red. So what is staged file and unstaged file? Let's say a cultural program is going on and the performers are told to wait backstage for their performance. So when this file is now in backstage, that is, it is now unstaged, it is not ready for its performance. When it will be ready for its performance, when it will come to the stage, when it will become a staged file, then it will be ready for the final performance, that is the commit, right? So what do we need to do to bring it to the stage, to commit it, to make the changes required in the local repo? We need to say git add readme.txt. All right, now let's check git status again. See, this file name has been made ready for the final performance, that is the commit. But I have not made the commit yet. No commits yet. But the changes to be committed are being shown. New file, readme.txt. Right. Now, how do I commit? That is, make the final changes in the local repository. Git commit M. M stands for message. Let's say first repo. Okay. And it shows first repo, one file changed, and one insertion. Now let's check what files are there in the local repository, and it shows readme.txt. Let's check git status. See, on branch master, nothing to commit because I have already committed the file. I have already made the changes in my local repository, and therefore my working tree is clean. Okay. Now I'll see what if you want to see what all changes you have made, the history of the changes which you have made in the repository. We will say git log, and it will show you the log of all the changes that have been made. And here it shows the author, the date of the commit made, and the thing which I have committed, and also it shows a commit ID, which is basically a hash. All right. Okay. Mm, Now we this commit, this change is being made in your local repository. How do you make it public? For that, we need to take the help of GitHub, right? So we will go to GitHub. Let me stop sharing the screen. Yes. So this is my GitHub account, and now I go to the repositories and create a new repository. Let's call it Git demo, and it's available, right? I have made it public. So a public repository basically means that anyone on the internet can see this repository, but you can choose who can make changes in this repository. If you want, you can also make it as a private repository. Then you can choose who can see the repository, who can and also who can commit to the repository. I'm not adding a readme file or a gitignore file right now, or a license. You can add it if you want. So I'm creating this repository, and here it shows the URL of my repository. So what I will do is I will make the changes, make the changes which I have made in my local repository visible. For that, I copy this URL and I go back to my Git bash. Let me clear my screen first. So I say git remote add origin, and I paste the URL here. Okay, so from my remote repository, I'm adding the changes to the public repository on GitHub. All right, when this is done, I create a main branch. And now I push the commits which I have made in my local repository in this public repo. Alright, and it shows git push origin main, and the thing which we wanted to do, that is making it public, has been done. So let's check git status. Okay, and it shows that your branch is up to date with origin on main. Let's check if the changes which I have made is being reflected on my public repo or not. Yeah, here it shows readme.txt. This is the commit message which I had given first repo, and here is the content of the readme.txt file, that is my first repository. Okay, so we have made a repository and pushed changes in it. Now, um, next comes um, branches. As you can see, there's a main branch which I had already created in it. What if you want to create another branch? Let's say I'll show you something, then it would be clear for you. Branches basically allow you to develop features, fix bugs, or safely experiment with new ideas in a contained area of the repo. For example, when I was contributing to Girl Script Winter of Contribution, then we had to work on several different domains, and there was a main branch, and there was a separate branch for each and every domain. So for example, I was working on the cybersecurity domain, and whatever changes I made to the cybersecurity branch, and the cybersecurity branch was merged with the main branch. All right, so nobody who was working with Python could that did not get mingled up. The changes which they were making in the Python branch, and the entire very clear and precise because of the branches. So that is what we use branches for. So how do we create a branch? For that, we'll say, let's make a branch, git branch, new branch. Okay, I'm moving on to the new branch of my repo so that I can make changes in it. So I use Git Checkout New Branch, and I have switched to the new branch. As you can see here, it was showing main till now, and now it is showing new branch. Now I'll make some changes as I have made in the previous one. Uh, let's make another text file. Touch. All right. Let's see if the changes have been saved. Yeah, it has been saved. So let's check what files are present in this new branch uh, of my local repo. See, readme.txt was present in the main branch. So when I make a new branch, all the files that are present in the new main branch are automatically copied to the new branch. So it contains the .git file, the readme.txt and the GSSoC'22 which I have already created here. Now let's follow the previous procedure and git add GSSoC'22. Let's check the status first. Git status. Alright. And it says that it is an unstaged file. So we have to stage it. Git status. Again. And now it has been staged. Now, what if I realize that no, I have missed some thing to write in the gss.txt and it is not ready for the performance or the commit. How do I bring it backstage again? For that, I use a command git restore staged and the file name that is gsssoc.txt. And now it comes back to the backstage because it was not ready for the commit. It becomes an unstaged file again. Git status, yes, it became an unstaged file again because it is being shown in red. So let's make some changes again. Alright, now I add it for the commit. I make the commit with the message and it shows that one file has been changed. Let's check git log and here it is. Commit in new branch. Okay. What if I do not want this commit, the last commit which I have made? Because I feel that no, I'll not make the commit right now. For that, what we do is git reset. We copy the commit. For example, I want to delete this commit, so I'll copy the commit which I have done previous to it, like before it. So I'll copy this commit and I'll just paste it here and I'll say git reset. Okay, fine. Uh, Git reset soft, what does it do? When we use git reset soft, it deletes the commit, but it does not undo the changes which you have made in the file, right? So when we see git status, let's check git log first to see if the commit has been deleted or not. Yes, it has been deleted. It's only showing the first commit. And now let's check git status. And yes, and it's showing that GSSoC.txt needs to be committed again. So I'm committing it again. right? Now we need to push it to make it visible. So we will follow the previous procedure but with a little change. What is the change? Um, we will say git push. U is for uploading the files, okay? We will say new branch instead of origin because this time we are committing in the pushing the file in the new branch of our repository, right? So we will say git push new branch. Yes. Sorry. Oh, fine. I haven't made the new branch in my public repository. So for that, I need to go back to my main branch. And now I'm back in my main branch. Uh, so what I need to do is um, I will say git remote add branch, sorry, branch, and I will copy paste the URL of my public repository in my git from my GitHub profile. Okay. All right. Let's see if the branch has been made in my public repository or not. So for that, we refresh the page.
I think Ishika is having some kind of network issue, so don't worry, she'll be joining very soon because I think she has left the stream right now. I can see. So until she comes back, I will just show you all the Girl Script Summer of Code website because some of you must have missed it. So until she comes back, so here you all again with me. So yeah, uh, you can um, you can register here for the participation. I had shown this before. The for your like just note that the last date or the deadline to fill out the participation form as a contributor is 15th of February. That is coming in the like coming Tuesday. So you have to register before that to be considered as an applicant. And then yeah, also you can share your projects and upload those projects, like add those projects to the project list, because obviously that's is like no matter, it doesn't need to be very difficult, like very high and like very pro level project. It can be anything like very beginner level, because like I said that it's very beginner level program. So obviously for the beginner level program, obviously the beginners need to have some easy going projects to start their contribution journey. So yes, if you have any such project in your in your disposal, just share with it. And yeah, you will find your application form here as well. Here is application form for the registration of projects and organizations. You have to give the details of the project owner. You have to have a GitHub repository for the same. You have to fill out the details. And yes, even if you like you are not the manager of that particular project, you can still go ahead and register it up. Only obviously if you have the permission of the project manager, like project admin. And it doesn't really take much to become a project admin, because you just have to be active for a 3 month, because obviously your project is being worked on. You have to check on the pull request, and that is being given by the contributors. So you just have to manage those. Doesn't really require you to be very highly skilled to be a project admin, because obviously you will be have sessions. You will be mentored by the Girl Script Foundation people. Don't worry about it. You can register up your project. Here you have to give your GitHub profile, LinkedIn profile, and phone number. Fill in the required details, and yeah, you'll have your project listed up. And if your project gets selected, you'll get a notice, like you'll get your an email. You'll hear back from the Girl Script summary of code from an email. And after that, like I'll show you the schedule. Yes, here you can see that from the 1st of March the coding period starts. From the 1st of March. After this happens, like on the 1st of April, the leaderboard opens, community bonding session starts, people start to get like communicate with the other developers. And on 31st of May, the coding period ends. Within this period, you get to experiment with your skills that you have to, you can learn new skills. Even if you like, suppose you are probably you are good at Android development, but you also want to check out web development, for example, and you find a very beginner level project of on HTML CSS. So yes, you can go ahead with it. You can, because obviously it wouldn't take you on this, like within this 3 month program, you have plenty of time to learn new skill. And obviously you'll have your mentor, and it's very like very feasible for you to learn skill when you have a mentor, because obviously no matter how many resources we have over the internet, it's always better if you have like someone to guide you through it. And from the second week of July, the results will be declared. And yeah, this is it. This is the schedule for the Girl Script Summer of Code 2022. And I think with this, Ishika is back. So yes, so I'll tell Ishika to continue the session where she has left. Are you back, Ishika? I can see your
I think
way.
I had lost my
Yes.
connection.
Yeah,
I
yeah, that's
think
not a
it was
problem.
visible till making the branch from the main branch. They lost
Yes,
track of it.
yes, you can continue from there.
Yes, thank you. So next what we do is we create the branch. Sorry.
You have to share
And
your screen once.
Sorry.
You have stopped sharing.
Yes, 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 yes. Is it visible?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Yes.
it is visible. Yeah, you can continue.
Yeah. So we make the branch with git branch m branch, and now let's see if the change the new branch is visible on my public repo or not. Um, this not. So let's go back to the git bash. All right. So what we do is we from the branch section of my from the new branch, I say git remote branch to the URL of the public repository, right? And then I say git branch m, which creates the branch, new branch, right? All right. Um, let's see if it is visible now. Yep, it is. Let me show you. Uh, the branch has already been created, and yes, previously it was showing one branch, that was the main, and now it is showing the main branch and the branch which we have created, right? So what we do is we push from the origin, that is our remote repository, to the branch. Sorry, it should be new branch. remove this file. Dot soc.txt.p. Moving to the new branch. Yep. So the GSSoC.txt, which I had created in this new branch of my local repository, has already been pushed. So let's check. Sorry, Git status. The branch is up to date, and
I think
Git.
we need to switch the tab once, I guess.
No,
Uh,
I'll show that later on. I'm just when I'm finished with this bash. Okay. Let's check the Git log. Yep. This new branch has been created in the original new branch. Now, let me show you the branches which I have made. All right. So the connection is so weird, acting weird. See, this thing is having three branches because by mistake I had created a branch and I hadn't created any file in it. So that also got added. I need to delete it, which I will show you later on. There's the main branch which is having readme.txt, and then there is the new branch where I have pushed the changes I have made. There is gssoc.txt and the readme.txt. Now what I need to do is merge this new branch with the main branch, which is the default branch of my public repository. Okay, for that, let's go to the main. All right. uh, I'm sharing my bash again. Yes, for that I need to move to the main branch. Git branch, sorry, Git checkout main would move me to the main branch, and it has been switched to branch main. Now what I do is merge the new branch which I have created to with this new branch. For that, the command which I will use is git merge and the branch name, that is new branch. Yeah, and it has got merged. Okay. So as I told you that I need to delete the branch which I had created by mistake with the name branch. So for that, I will use git checkout delete branch. Okay. And let's see if that has been reflected in it or not. Git log. Yes, it has been changed and that is being shown in the log, but somehow it is not refreshing. Um, All right. So the things which we learned today is basically creating our own repository, making files in it, adding them to the staged part of my repository, committing, and then finally pushing, and also creating new branches and um, merging them. Right. Uh, I think that's pretty much the basics of Git. I'm a bit flustered because my internet connection is acting very weird.
Well, that sums up for the basics of Git. We are gonna have a continuation of this. We're gonna discuss the Git, like how to contribute in a public repository, how to actually learn about the intricacies of open source contribution tomorrow. We're gonna have another session tomorrow, and that's gonna talk about the how to choose your projects in your niche and how to interact with the mentors and get started with it. So from today's session I feel that all the basics of Git are covered. So we are going to handle the any queries that you may have. So you can just type those in the chat box and Ishika will be addressing those. So yes, go ahead with the queries. We're gonna wait for a few minutes and we'll start answering any queries that you have. It was very lovely to have you all in this session because this was a great one because all of us, like whoever did not have any idea about Git and what is it actually and how it is important in the open source contribution part, I think you all got a very the basic requirement that you need for open source contribution. I think you got the idea of it, and I just hope that you do not feel any kind of intimidation towards it because it's very simple. I do not have any kind of stigma in your mind while you're sitting to do some coding or anything for that matter, because yes, it's very easy. Just think of it as very normal daily stuff that you do. And yeah, there's, and always, even if you forget something, you have mentors, you have your friends to ask. You are doing probably pursuing BTech in computer science or IT or anything. Like, you do not need to have a technical background only. Like, you can contribute from any particular background. So yes, if you have any doubts, obviously we have Google to help us. It's like the one of the best things. There are many open source resources that you can refer to. There are many YouTube videos. There are hundreds and thousands of blogs. You can read those. You can read the documentations. You can go through the different Discord channels where you can join different communities of developers. You can grow together. So I think we are getting a few questions. Are we? Let me just go through the live chat and. Hmm. Ishika, I'll just add you to the stream so that you can answer the questions that we have. Ishika, are you there? I think she's having a network issues again. Mm,
Yeah.
no, she's here.
How okay? How do we
And
tag the version of a particular production build? I have never done it personally, but I think when you go to the GitHub, one second, your GitHub profile, that is, um, there is a tags option there in this part of the bar. So I think you can do it from there. But I haven't done it personally ever, so I am not very sure about how to do that. How do other people understand which version is what? I did not get your question, Agnish. If you can explain uh, more precisely. Are you talking about the Git version which I showed at the beginning of the session?
I think he's talking about the different versions, like we talked about version management, version control systems. So I think he's talking about those versions.
Okay, I'm still not very clear about it. Can we add any message in any particular comment? Yes, you can. Of course, you can. You can even edit the messages which you have added. But how to identify whether a tag given to a commit is of a production or not? Um, I'm not very sure about that. I can't answer it. I'm sorry.
While she looks for like thinks of the answer, if you have any more queries, you can just drop them in the chat box.
We use git tag in that case. Um, Git tag. Let me use that. Yep, I think you are right, Agnish. That's what we should use. I think there are no more questions, Sanhati. It was nice taking the session and for this opportunity. I think you should, can take
Yeah,
over.
so with this, we'll conclude the session. I'll once again tell you all, remind you all, in fact, that the last date for the registration is on 15th of February. Please go register if you feel like it's open source contribution is something that you would want to venture into. To be honest, it's not something that is mandatory. It's just like doing something for the community, you could say. So yeah, if you want, just go register. And yes, if you are selected, yeah, congratulations, you get to do your open source contribution. And yes, if you have any queries at all, do contact me. I'll be there to help you. I'm gonna send my email and my LinkedIn URL. If you want, you can contact me. I'll help you with anything that you need regarding the registration and everything if you have any queries. So, in just a minute, I'll just share the contact details. If you want, you can contact me. And also, I'll share the Girl Script website link. If you want, you can just go check it out. You can, I'll share the website link as well so that you may find the like you do not get lost somewhere else, even though that's very highly unlikely. But okay, I'll just share it with you all. Mm, this is the link that you can go and register. Tomorrow we are going to have another session from 4 p.m. So you can join that. We are gonna have one of the top contributors from last year's session. In fact, she even joined today's session. I could see her chats in the chat box. Meha, she's gonna join us tomorrow and speak about how to get started with the projects and how to do like you get to know the intricacies of it. And I'm gonna share the link for tomorrow's session as well, so that if you want, you can just join tomorrow. It's from 4 p.m. Oh, Miha is here, right? Hi, Miha. We are gonna have you tomorrow. I posted the link for tomorrow's session as well. Go ahead, right, and join for tomorrow's session. Would love to see you all there tomorrow. And we learn about how to like add like contribute to public repositories, know about forking, cloning, push, pull request, and merging those conflicts, everything. And also you'll know how to choose your projects and how to interact with your mentors. So yeah, see you all there tomorrow. And my one thing that I would like to say to everyone, whoever is in their first year or their second year, just don't think too much about it. Just go ahead. Even if you know one language, just go ahead and participate. Even if it's very simple, like probably just fixing a very minor bug, it doesn't really like it would help you get rid of the fear that might be there in your head that this is probably for the pros. No, it's not. It's an opportunity to learn. So, as a fresher, do grab every opportunity that you get, because obviously you learn something from it. You learn how to work in a team. You learn how to, like, as I said, you learn how to enhance your existing skills plus know a wider range of skills while working with others, because and plus you'll make a great deal of new connections. So yes, it will definitely shape you as a better developer and as a person. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna end today's session. See you all tomorrow at 4 p.m. Do join in. I have given the link for registration of tomorrow's session in the chat box. So yes, it was lovely to have you all. With that, I'm ending today's session. Thank you. Bye bye. Ishika, if you are there, you can just like bid goodbye.
I It was nice taking the session and a great learning
Thank you
experience for me
for
as well.
coming here and like doing today's session. It was really great listening to you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. So, yeah, bye.